Hey, this is Shiv. I do EMDR therapy to recover from complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm a survivor of abuse from both my parents and then bullying at school. What I want to talk about is just codependency and kind of some of my childhood experiences that led to codependent behaviors as an adult and just how much it hurts, really. I grew up with like a pretty narcissistic mom. Um, I was mostly an extension of her, and as a result, like I never felt seen for who I truly was. But I think much of the codependency, at least this one memory that is coming into my mind that's really crystallizing, is a memory of, I was sitting at the dining table, and this was in high school, and my mom started saying that, like, oh, when you and your sister go off to college, I'll have no more reason to live. I might as well die. And I was horrified. I was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't want my mom to die. I was very scared when she said stuff like that. So I, and she didn't take care of herself. She would spend much of her day watching TV. She didn't eat the healthiest. She was a very depressed woman. And at the same time, she was very narcissistic in that she would beat me if I didn't get A's. She would, try and make me be number one in everything at school. And the message that I got was that I need to somehow love this woman into health in order to not only just like feel love myself, but to prevent this tragedy that's probably going to come of my mom like dying or killing herself or something. Um, so I had the idea that, like, okay, well, first of all, the abuse will stop and she'll stop comparing me to other people and will love me for who I am if I can, be the absolute best at things. So, I really worked hard academically so that I could go to a good college. I mean, part of that was for me, I wanted to study math and physics, but also it was like I wanted to make my mom proud so she would stop and finally love me. And she might feel okay enough about herself so that she could be stable enough to love me. So that was one part of it, but then I think the more dysfunctional part was like I need to take care of people in relationships in order to be loved. Um, so I think what ended up happening during college was I chose people who were actually deeply depressed themselves. And then, I was deeply depressed too, but like, I thought, okay, I need to somehow love them into being healthy. Especially in my second relationship, it was just deeply broken. Like, I was physically abused twice in that relationship and emotionally abused a fair bit. I'm sure I did things that were emotionally abusive too, honestly. Like, I'm not a saint, but my whole mindset was like, okay, if I do things correctly, she won't leave me. And then, she ended up breaking up with me at a certain point. And then I was going to this outpatient program at a psych hospital and doing therapy. And I was like, okay, I will heal so that she can heal. I think because the mindset was that, like, if I healed, then I can help heal her, my ex at the time. Um, yeah, like nobody would ever leave me. I think deep down inside there was this fear of abandonment with my mom that, like, I was really terrified about her dying. I really worried about her health. And, I was repeatedly told in my family, like, you need to do something to help her lose weight and stuff. And I, no matter what I did, I'd make diet plans with her. I would check in on her. And she couldn't do it because she had no will to live herself. Like, and honestly, I think the thing that she said at the dining table that day about, like about once you go off to college I have no reason to live, I really think that was, I don't know if that was serious. Like, my mom is a liar, she lies a lot, and I think that was a manipulation. That's really just a way to, like, make sure I don't leave her. Like, oh, if you leave me I'll kill myself, that kind of deal. That's what my mom was doing. And that is extremely unhealthy. It's really bad to do to your kids. And that's led to me having these codependent tendencies. And, with the prospect of abandonment or leaving a relationship, my mind jumps to, I don't want to leave because it's going to hurt the other person. But that's not true. I realize now that underneath it is actually, I don't want to leave because I think that if I just do everything correctly, I can heal them, love them into health again, and they'll be there for me, and everything will be fine. And that's just never going to be the case. And that's also partially why I've always thought, like, having a girlfriend or a woman in my life will help heal this hole, because I didn't get love from my family, my parents. Both of them were quite abusive. I do feel loved by my dad now because he's made so many changes, but my mom she's kind of a lost cause for all I understand. So yeah, I thought that, okay, if I get in the perfect relationship, then I'll finally feel complete. And that's just not possible. That's just not possible. And that's the hard part. Realizing that, like, first of all, you can't control other people. You cannot love somebody back to health. And I know it's easier said than done. And that's why I do EMDR, because honestly, if I didn't do EMDR and therapy and all this stuff, I would still be playing out this insanity of, like, thinking that I could love people back into health. So I think that's the first thing. And then the second thing is that your own needs matter. And if you think you're trying to love somebody back into health, you're probably just trying to secure love for yourself, if you really look deep down inside. And that's hard, because when we're really activated, when we're really emotionally activated due to some sort of conflict in a relationship, we can't actually peer deep into ourselves and understand ourselves. So we stay in that higher level of, that more surface level thinking of, like, oh, I need to just act perfectly and this person will still love me. So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. Suicide scares me a lot. I had an ex who attempted suicide within our relationship, and I was still like, okay, like, I want to feel loved, but I also don't know what to do about this. I can't do that. So I urged her to go to therapy, and hope she's doing well. Just a string of broken relationships because of that. My current one is, like, decent. I'm not a saint, so I have lots of stuff I can work on. I'm definitely proud of the progress that I've made, but this codependence thing, it's hard. It's really hard. I just want somebody to never leave me. Kind of like I wish for my mom. I wish my mom would never leave me, but there's this part of me that just has felt so deeply unloved, and it's feeling void of being loved, and yeah, it's hard. It's hard. So yeah, I'll end it there. Thanks for watching.